The city of Havana hums with secrets after midnight. In a quiet room, lit only by the soft glow of a desk lamp, a young man leans over a stack of papers. He is not just any negotiator, he is the grandson of a revolutionary, a last name that once shook the world. Tonight his words may change the future of two nations, long at odds. Outside, the city is restless, a mix of old American cars, laughter, and salsa music drifting through the air. But in this room, history is being rewritten with every whispered word. The stakes are high. Decades of suspicion and bitterness hang heavy in the air, threatening to suffocate hope before it can take root. The world is not watching yet. But if these talks succeed, the headlines will soon tell of a new era. For now, it is just him, his legacy, and the possibility of a different tomorrow. The question is simple, yet profound. Can the past and future find common ground in the hands of a single negotiator? The outcome of this night may echo for generations. The story between Cuba and the United States is one of wounds that never fully healed. After Fidel Castro's revolution toppled a US-backed regime in 1959, relations soured fast. The United States imposed a harsh embargo hoping to starve out the new government. Cuba, in turn, leaned on the Soviet Union, becoming a communist outpost just 90 miles from Florida. The Cold War turned the Caribbean into a chessboard. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 nearly brought the world to nuclear war. Families were divided, spies traded secrets, and suspicion grew into habit. Each side built walls, real and psychological, to block the other out. For decades, presidents came and went, but the freeze remained. There were moments of hope, brief encounters, handshake diplomacy, but they never lasted. Old wounds, it seemed, were easier to nurse than to heal. For ordinary Cubans and Americans alike, the divide became normal. Few believed it could truly change. But history, as always, has a way of surprising us. Something is different now. In recent months, rumors have started to swirl. Diplomats meet in quiet corners of foreign cities. Messages are passed not in the open, but through trusted intermediaries. The age of secret talks, it seems, is not over. Why the secrecy? Both sides fear backlash. In Cuba, old guard leaders resist any hint of weakness. In the United States, critics warn against rewarding the regime. But behind closed doors, negotiators can take risks, float ideas, and build trust, without the glare of cameras or the pressure of public opinion. These talks are fragile. One leak or misstep could ruin everything. Yet sometimes, the only way forward is out of sight. History shows that the boldest moves often begin in silence. As these quiet efforts continue, the world waits. Will this be another false start, or the beginning of something real? The answer may depend on who is sitting at the table. Enter the grandson. His name is whispered, not shouted. To many, he is a mystery. A young man with a famous bloodline, but his own ideas. He grew up hearing stories of revolution, of sacrifice and struggle. Yet he also sees the world as it is now, not just as it was. Some say he has his grandfather's courage, but none of his rigidity. He is fluent in English, comfortable on both sides of the Straits of Florida. His friends include artists, business people, and even former dissidents. He listens more than he talks, a rare trait in politics. Why does he matter? In a country where power passes carefully from one hand to another, he is trusted by the old guard, but also respected by the young. He is seen as a bridge, not just between nations, but between generations. His presence at the negotiating table is a signal. Change may not come overnight, but for the first time in years, it feels possible. It is tempting to think that outsiders, foreign diplomats, exiles, or international organizations hold the key to peace. But the most lasting changes often come from within. Insiders know the language of power, the fears and hopes that shape decisions. They can open doors that remain shut to others. Yet, insiders also carry the weight of tradition. They must balance respect for the past with the demands of the future. The grandson's challenge is to honor what came before, while daring to imagine what comes next. In Cuba, this tension is everywhere. The revolution is both a legend and a burden. Young leaders must prove they are not traitors to their heritage, but they must also confront the reality of a world that has moved on. Outsiders can help, but only so much. The real work happens in quiet rooms, among those who know the costs of failure and the price of hope. Secret negotiations have a long history. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, it was back-channel diplomacy, not public threats, that pulled the world back from the brink. US and Soviet officials, meeting in secret, crafted a deal missiles out of Cuba and a quiet promise to remove US missiles from Turkey. These talks worked because they were private. Leaders could make concessions without fear of public embarrassment. Trust was built, step by step. But secrecy is a double-edged sword. When talks are exposed, they can collapse. Opponents both inside and outside government may try to sabotage the process. The grandson's negotiations are risky. If word leaks too soon, old suspicions could flare up, and hardliners on both sides could slam the door shut. Yet, without secrecy, bold deals may never be possible. The challenge is to balance openness with discretion. Too much secrecy, and the public loses trust. Too little, and nothing gets done. History is full of turning points led by new generations. In Cuba, a fresh wave of leaders is rising. They are shaped by hardship, but hungry for something better. The grandson is their symbol, a sign that even the most rigid systems can evolve. He faces obstacles. The old guard still wields power. The embargo remains. Hardliners in both countries are ready to pounce on any sign of weakness. But change has a way of coming slowly, then all at once. The world should pay attention. These quiet talks may not make headlines yet, but their impact could be profound. If the grandson succeeds, he may help end the final chapter of the Cold War. He could prove that bridges can be built, even from the ruins of old walls. For now, the negotiations go on, in secret, in hope, in the long Havana night.